Okay, so now we're going to go over the vegetable portion of the lean and green meal. So did the protein, we did the condiments and fat, whichever order you're doing it, but that's what I did. And now I'm moving forward with the veggie portion. So I'm going to show you two different documents. One of the documents, which is the one in front of you right now, is what is in your quick start guide that comes with the program. It's in the email that I sent you welcoming you to Take Shape for Life. So there's many ways to find it. And it's not a full comprehensive list of all the vegetables you can have, but it's just the basics. Like the protein, we have 3 different categories, but the categories don't affect anything except the amount of carbohydrates. So I always recommend doing a mixture of all 3 so that you get a well-rounded, interesting meals. And, you know, some people like to stick to the lower carbohydrates if they want to be on that fast track and lose the most weight possible. Personally, I would rather, you know, I thought I lost very nicely, and I did a mixture of all different categories. And I'm going to show you 2 lists, but if you don't see the vegetable that you're looking for on either 2 lists, assume it's not allowed unless you're told otherwise, because there are many vegetables that are not on program. It doesn't mean that they're not good for you and healthy. They're probably great for you, but for right now, for the weight loss portion of the program, we are going to stay away from them, and then we're going to bring them back in as soon as you hit your goal weight. We're going to bring back all the vegetables, and there's nothing going to be off limits. But for now, let's stick to just the approved vegetables. I'm going to tell you right now off the bat a couple of vegetables that sometimes people get confused about and think that is allowed and are not allowed. So number 1 is onions. I love onions, especially fried or sauteed or whatever. For right now, they have a lot of carbs. You can't have them on the program. There is a certain amount of onions. If you look in the condiment guides, to confuse you a little bit, like a tablespoon of onions is a condiment. So you could have a tiny bit of onions, but not a lot of onions. So what we use as a substitute, a great substitute, is scallions. You're allowed to have on the program. Another thing that some people think we can have, because it is a lower carb vegetable, but not low carb enough, so would be the the butternut squash. And then we have sweet potato, not allowed. Potatoes, not allowed. Acorn squash, a lot of winter squashes are not allowed. Zucchini is allowed, you'll see. But a couple of squashes we found out about recently that are not on any of these lists. I'll give it a couple. And of course, we go over this and review it together, but I just want to let you know about these options. And they're really seasonal, so right now they're available. It could be that, you know, not all year round will you be able to get these things, but there's a squash called delicata squash, and it tastes to me exactly like butternut squash. It's a little smaller, easier to handle. You could roast it. You could make it into a cocoa with egg whites and things like that, and it's delicious and low carb, and you can have it on program. So it's great. Kibosh squash is another one. It might be listed, but it's also a type of pumpkin squash. I don't know what it is, but you could put it in your cholent. You could put it in soups. You could make a soup with it, and also really good and allowed on program. The another one. Okay, I'm drawing a blank on the names of them, but there's some other, like, you know, little pumpkin type squashes. Not pumpkin, but you know, just ask me. We'll talk about it. You know, sometimes we have to call nutrition support and ask them about a vegetable if I don't know, because I don't know everything. That's why we have nutrition support. They're a great resource, like I said in all my other videos. So this is the basic list of, you know, some really standard vegetables, and, you know, the higher carb, and then the moderate and the lower carb. So what I want to show you next, I'm going to end the share of this video and show you something else, if I could find it. Let's see. Okay, just give me 1 minute. Sometimes this does not work, so I'm going to stop this share. Stop share. And we're going to do a new share of, okay, that didn't work. Just give me 1 second, guys. And then, let's see. Here we go, share screen. Okay, so this is something that I need to send to you personally. It's not in any of the documents I sent you, so please request it from me if it's something that you would like. So I think you should request it from me. I think it's great. It's a veggie weight guide. Now, like I said with the lean in the protein section about weighing your proteins, that I recommend it, but if it's going to be something that, you know, is going to make you all stressed out, don't do it. One thing I left out, which I'm going to go over right now, is amounts of the vegetables. Now, the rule of thumb for how much vegetables you get is we get 3 vegetables with our protein. So they are either, most vegetables are half cup servings, like if it's on the allowed list, if it's a tomato, you get a half cup serving of tomato or a cucumber. The only ones you get a cup serving are the ones that are leafy, like spinach or what else? Lettuce, you know, those type of vegetables. And here you'll see on this veggie weight guide, which is much more comprehensive than the one I showed you before, has many, many vegetables. It gives you different weights. They have, you know, just the half cup serving, which is the easiest to deal with, you know, and then you have weight in grams and weight in ounces. Now, I would recommend, and everyone, you know, you could do the half cup and just, you know, figure out how much that is. But the issue I find is, let's say broccoli or cauliflower or big chunks of vegetables. It's really hard to figure out how much is a half a cup, or at least in the beginning, just, you know, to get an idea of what it is, because it's not a lot. Just bring it to you right now. You don't get a lot of vegetables on the program. You know, once you hit your goal weight, you're going to eat tons of vegetables. But right now, because of the carb content in vegetables, we do have to limit them to what is on the program. Does that mean if you overeat vegetables, you won't lose weight? That's not true. But you will lose weight, but just slower if you overeat on the vegetables, depending on how extreme you go. So, you know, I always say, follow the program as designed. You're going to lose the most weight, and, you know, as safely as allowed. But if you deviate and eat more vegetables, even though it seems like, oh, vegetables are healthy, they are healthy and they're great for you, but the way the program is designed is very structured. It's figured out just as many carbs as our body needs to get into this fat burning. Everyone has a different threshold. So some people can handle more carbs, but if we want to just keep it safe, let's keep it to the amount that they call for, which is half cup or a cup serving, depending which vegetable. So if you see, there is the different weights. So I like to do in grams because I find ounces get confusing. So, you know, after a while, you really will get a handle on most vegetables and not have to weigh them. Of course, you always are welcome to do it just to keep yourself in line. And sometimes we need that accountability of weighing and measuring. Some of us do really well with that. So totally do it if you do. I'm one of those that does, but you don't have to. And especially if you're going to go to, you know, restaurant, obviously you're not going to weigh and measure your vegetables or someone else's house. So you want to get an idea and then do the best you can. So that's the story with the vegetables. And I will see you on my last video today later. Bye-bye.